Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you all to the August 2017 graduating class. And I want to say a big hello to all of our viewers joining us via live stream. I am Woody Curry. I've had the pleasure of being the class supervisor for this amazing group of people who you are all about to meet. So with that, I'd like to introduce our graduates. I'd like to introduce our graduates. Hello. And go. All right. From Portland, Oregon, Michael Moore and Guiding Eyes, Jax. From Richmond, Virginia, Robert Parsons and Guiding Eyes, Kansas. From Schenectady, New York, Norma Rios and Guiding Eyes, Bitsy. From West Sand Lake, New York, Megan Hale and Guiding Eyes, Hero. From Washington, D.C., Barbara Reilly and Guiding Eyes, Janelle. From Damaris, New Jersey, Guiding Eyes, Juliana Lee and Guiding Eyes, Maggie. From Columbus, Ohio, Vicki Prayan and Guiding Eyes, Peace. From Thailand, via Conway, Arkansas, Sai Teshuwangtum and Guiding Eyes, Luther. From Campbellsville, Kentucky, Miss Caliboon and Guiding Eyes, Fallon. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, Briley O'Connor and Guiding Eyes, Fuchsia. From Anchorage, Alaska, Nate Kyle and Guiding Eyes, Edgar. From Little Neck, New York, Lisa Cantwell and Guiding Eyes, Louie. This is our August 2017 graduating class. Big round of applause for everyone. I would also like to recognize this month 3 teams who've trained at home through our home training programs as well as our special needs program. From South Burlington, Vermont, Barbara Buchanan with Guiding Eyes, Anna Lee, trained by home training instructor Megan Crowley. From Sioux Falls, South Dakota, is Shmael Colazo with Guiding Eyes, Alexa, trained by field representative Mike Gehring. And from Reno, Nevada, William Page and Guiding Eyes, Kenner, trained by special needs instructor Julie Engel. At this time, I would like to introduce Wendy Aglietti, our board chair of our board of directors.
Thank you, Woody. Wow, I'm really impressed. This is a beautiful class. It's an honor to have this opportunity to speak at today's graduation. Congratulations to the August 2017 class. For a board member, these monthly graduations are highly symbolic. Although Guiding Eyes also serves the visually impaired community in many other ways throughout the months, graduation, marked by this once monthly celebration, is quite special. Witness the fruits of the labors of all those involved. The chain of events that takes place to get to this day is complex. It never ceases to amaze me. It's miraculous. Thank you to the donors, the talented staff, and the passionate volunteers for all your contributions. Our very unique, specialized mission would not be possible if any of you were missing from this magic formula. I welcome our August 2017 graduation sponsors, the Women's Club of Danbury, New Fairfield. They are a nonprofit organization that brings women in their community together for the support of education and charity. Their message to today's graduates is, congratulations to the new guide dog teams on this graduation day. The Women's Club of Danbury, New Fairfield is proud to be a sponsor for the wonderful work that Guiding Eyes for the Blind accomplishes. And I'd like to add that we welcome 3 members of the Women's Club here today with us today on their first visit to Guiding Eyes. They fundraise each year by holding a poinsettia sale during the holidays, and we are grateful that they selected us to benefit from their efforts. Acknowledging their legacy, today's graduation is also sponsored in grateful remembrance of Wendy and Alvin Nevins. Wendy and Al, who lived in Manhattan, were a charitably minded and generous couple. Al loved all dogs, but had a special place in his heart for his beloved Westie, Piper. After his wife Wendy passed away, he took great comfort in the companionship and love that he shared with Piper. Al understood the depth of the human-canine bond. He also understood that guide dogs change lives. He believed in the opportunities and adventures that are possible for people with vision loss thanks to their partnerships with our expertly trained guide dogs. For those who aren't aware, our instructors bring guide dogs to training in Manhattan to give them the experience of working in a big city environment. Whenever Al saw one of our trainers working a dog in his neighborhood, he'd say hello, ask about the dog, and share the enthusiasm for our mission. As I alluded to earlier, I think everyone here realizes that it takes a lot of time, energy, and money to run a guide dog school. I'm honored to share with you that Wendy and Al's gift to Guiding Eyes has provided the funding for 11 guide dog teams. We couldn't be more grateful for their incredible generosity or commitment to Guiding Eyes. And as you can see, it's very powerful to leave a legacy behind for an organization you care about. Thank you to the estate of Wendy and Al Nevins. Now, I'd like to bring Kathy Zubricki, Vice President of Training Programs, up to the podium.
Thank you, Wendy, and welcome everyone to this very happy occasion. And as Wendy mentioned, getting to graduation is a complicated process, a process that wouldn't happen without a very special group of people, and that's our puppy raisers. So I'd like to ask all our puppy raisers to please stand up. From the depths of our hearts, thank you for raising a Guiding Eyes puppy. Yours is an extraordinary gift that has had a tremendous impact on another person's life. And let me share with you an expression of gratitude from a recent graduate. I don't know why you and your family chose to raise a puppy. Nobody asked you, nobody forced you. You knew the commitment involved, you knew it was going to be hard. And I want you to know what you have provided me. Fears of getting lost are a distant memory. My husband no longer worries when I leave the house. This amazing creature we have both grown to love is more than my guide dog. She has become my partner in crime and my friend in blindness. Without you, these words would not have been written. Thank you very much. One of the values that is important to everyone at Guiding Eyes for the Blind is teamwork. Teamwork is defined as the willingness of a group of people to work together to achieve a common goal. Woody, Nikki, Karen, Nick, Amy, and Miranda, you have all, and Dan. There's so many on this team. So I'm glad all of you have embraced this attribute as you work so hard to make this class so successful. So thank you for all your efforts. You've done a great job. And to the graduating class, this is your day. Enjoy it. Savor every moment. You've worked hard to achieve this goal, but your efforts have been completely worth it, as now one of your greatest desires has become your reality. On behalf of the entire Guiding Eyes staff at this campus and the Patterson campus, as well as our regional managers and field representatives who work remotely, congratulations and we wish you every continued success.
Thank you, Kathy. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's first graduate speaker. He is a longtime member of the Guiding Eyes family. This, I believe, is dog number 5 for him. He's not only a member of this family, but I personally also have the pleasure of calling him my friend, Michael Moore.
Thank you. My name is Michael Moore. Got to get my team member ready. I was asked by the class to speak for the retrains and to represent them as well as Robert. And I thought a lot about what I wanted to say today because, as Woody said, this is dog number 5. And when I came into this school in 2000, I was newly blind, and I had this desire to go to law school. And I got given a dog that was a ton of fire, and I made a really special bond with his trainer, Shannon, because I was her first student, and he was her first dog that went out into the field. And so we're really tightly bonded. And when I came back in to get my second dog, I was talking to Shannon and I said, well, I'm going to come back and you won't be there. And what are the trainers like? And she said, oh, you'll fall in love with one of them at least. And I said, oh, okay. And that was Woody. And Woody gave me my second dog, and Jolene my third, and Woody my fourth. And now Karen trained this dog, and I worked with Dan. And I can't tell you, I did go to law school. I graduated in 2004. Kayak and I were on the front page of the Providence Journal newspaper on the day we graduated. And my life took an incredible turn. And I know again that my life will take an incredible turn with Jax. And I've recently moved to Portland, Oregon, so we've got lots of trails and things to explore. But I wanted to talk about teams. And, when we get here, we're told that we're going to be a member of a guide dog team. And we're the ultimate guide dog team when we leave this place. But there's this whole huge team that Kathy alluded to before we even get here and get these dogs. And, there's the team at the whelping kennel who loves them as puppies, and then they go to these amazing families and individuals who know that they're going to have to part with them, but give them up willingly and lovingly, and then come to say, hey, good job to us here, the puppy raisers. And I did a really selfish thing initially. I didn't stay in touch with my puppy raiser like I should have. And I plan to rectify that this time, because I can't make it through a day without this dog. And they've provided me this dog. And I really appreciate that. And I'm sorry to my first family, but I won't make the same mistake this time. And then there's the trainer team, and everybody's like, "Oh, I wonder who trained my dog," when you get here. And because every time they walk into the room, your dog goes, "Hey, person, I love you." Um, and you have to bond, you have to kind of become the thing that they're like, "Oh," by the end of the time, you're like, you walk in and the dog's like, "Oh yeah, it's you." Um, and you feel really great because you're like, "Oh, the dog looks to me for everything now. Yay." Um, and then we come and we sweat the first 2 days, and then we get these dogs, and you think, oh, but it's not going to be like my last dog. But they win you over like in hour 2, and they become your best friend. And people here, I think, will all join me in saying that we are humbled, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for these precious, precious gifts. Thank you. That's good.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Our next graduate speaker, as a first-time graduate, he's new to the Guiding Eyes family, but walking through the door, that first day, he embraced us all and his classmates like family. Please welcome Robert Parsons.
Yeah, the curse of the height. Kansas, sit. Good boy, stay. Okay, good afternoon. So, my name is Robert Parsons, and I wanted to just applaud Michael again for that, the message that he just gave everyone. I want to definitely support that and mirror that sentiment, because we definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the whole team. When I was suggested to speak on behalf of the new students or the first time handlers, I decided that because of the just the cohesion that our class had, I would go around to everyone and ask them, to give me a quick word association on what this class meant to them. So I would tell them, Guiding Eyes is blank, and they'd have to give me a word. I've gotten a bunch of good adjectives, a lot of good ones, a lot of profound ones, a lot of descriptive ones. But I think there was one that encompassed everything that everyone was trying to say, and that was life changing. Guiding Eyes is life changing. Life changing for our retrains like Michael, because it fills a void that their last dog that retired left, and gives them back that sense of self that they lost for that amount of time that they didn't have their guide dog. Life changing for all of the staff, the puppy raisers, and the team, because this is the full circle. We started a year or more ago, starting with these puppies, and to get all to this point where they've successfully graduated and moved forward. And life changing to new handlers like myself, because this emboldens us with a new form of confidence that's unmatched that I haven't felt before. I put on Facebook about 2 weeks ago, this is probably the fastest I've walked in about 4.5 years. And it wasn't because Kansas was moving too fast. It was because I used to walk this way. I used to walk free. I used to swing my arms when I walked. And I had to stop when I started using a cane. This gave me a sense of self that I had lost. I lost my sight 4 years ago at the hands of a home invasion. where robbers broke into my home and attacked me. I was shot in the face, and it left me completely blind. From that time forward, I made peace with the fact that I would live this way, because at the end of the day, this is just a characteristic. It's not life-ending. I rehabilitated well. I'm a college student, a senior. I go to school. I learned how to use a white cane. I learned Braille, but I still felt like a shadow of myself. But after this weekend, I can honestly say, the last 3 weeks, I can honestly say that that's going to change. And there's going to be a lot of differences on my campus this semester because of it. A lot of, hey, wait for me, will be being yelled at by my friends. A lot of, why did you leave me, will be being said. There will not be too many more, let me grab an arm, hold my arm, and I'll take you here. Nah, that's going to stop. So with that confidence comes a whole bunch of responsibility. To my classmates, I want to tell you guys, proud of you. Okay. Kansas has something to say. I want to tell you guys that I'm really proud of all of the progress that I've watched us all make as a team and as individual teams as well. And I know that there are going to be twists and turns and distractions and weird dogs out there, trying to sabotage our roots. But at the end of the day, my favorite quote from Frederick Douglass was, "Without struggle, there is no progress." So with this team, with Kansas, with all of the rest of your dogs, your individual teams, it's time to make the progress. The training begins now. Thank you so much.
Robert, that was great. Thank you. Whew, hard to speak after things like that. It's now my pleasure to introduce you all to one of our regional managers. Regional managers, I'm going to talk about you for a second. Regional managers oversee each region of our puppy program. It sometimes requires long hours, lots of driving, the wrangling of puppies, and sometimes raisers at their weekly puppy class, and all the supportive emails and phone calls to support our raisers or a new puppy parent. So, without further ado, Bethany Reinhardt will make presentations to the puppy raisers.
Thank you. And this is a new role for me. I've been here for almost a year and still am loving it and very glad to be a part of this family. So thank you, Woody. All right, so on behalf of the Guiding Eyes for the Blind Canine Development Center, I would like to extend our sincere and heartfelt congratulations to the August 2017 graduating class. I'd like to thank our team of over 1,400 devoted volunteers, our generous donors, and our dedicated staff, who all play a huge part in the role of the journey of a Guiding Eyes puppy. From our broodstead foster families who walk our breeding dogs 3 miles a day, our early socializers and home socializers who work closely with the young puppies, our home litter care provider families who take moms and puppies home, our puppy sitters, our regional coordinators, our kennel and administrative volunteers, both here in Yorktown and in Patterson, and also our tour leaders and ambassadors. It truly takes a village to raise a puppy. And finally, I would like to thank our puppy raisers, who I get to work very closely with, who take a little puppy into their home and give them love, guidance, training, and then give them up to change other people's lives. And it's one of the hardest jobs, but one of the most rewarding as well. I'd like to ask every person who is a volunteer for Guiding Eyes to please stand, and I'd like to give everybody a well-deserved round of applause. So please stand. So now it is time for us to present to you, the puppy raisers, your photo and certificate. I would like to ask one member from each puppy raising family to please come up to receive your photo and certificate. To start off, we're going to start off actually with one of my puppy raisers. Today we have Bitsy, Hero, and Fuchsia, who are all raised in my region, so a special shout out to them. Bitsy was raised by the Slayer family in Westchester, New York region. And primarily, Bitsy was raised by Jay, who just graduated high school, so very proud of her. All right, Guiding Eyes Edgar was raised by Mike and Sharon Walker family in the Erie, New York region. Guiding Eyes Fallon was raised by Nicole Dorsey in the Shenandoah, Virginia region. She could not be here today. Hero was raised by Ian Murray in the Westchester, New York region. At times, our pups have multiple raisers. Sometimes we have what we call starter raisers who give the puppies the beginning. So Guiding Eyes Janelle was raised by Jean Dragala in Cleveland West. And Janelle was also raised by Linda Soltis in Cleveland West as well. Guiding Eyes Jax was raised by Cynthia and Darlene Farley Marvin in the Wayne County region. The Guiding Eyes Kansas was raised by the Doheny family in northern New York. Amy DeWitt raised Guiding Eyes Luther in the Shenandoah, Virginia region. Guiding Eyes Maggie was raised by Margaret Hughes in the New Hampshire region. She was not able to be here today. Also raiser of Guiding Eyes Maggie, the Houghton family in the Finger Lakes, New York region. Guiding Eyes Peace was raised by Judy Wiles in the Prince William, Virginia region. From our action training program, we have Guiding Eyes Fuchsia, raised by Barbara Ward Blank in the Sullivan County region. Also from our action training, we have Guiding Eyes Louie, raised by Kristen Exemplar in the southwestern Connecticut region. She was not able to be here today. And then from our home training, we have Guiding Eyes Alexa, raised by Barb O'Connor in the Colorado region. Guiding Eyes Annalie had 3 different puppy raising families. We have Danielle and Brandon Slover from the Cleveland East region. Jeannie and Mark Gifford from the Cleveland East region. And then Kathy and Tori Smith, also from the Cleveland East region. And Guiding Eyes Kenner was raised by John and Ann Zipperian in the Dominion, Virginia region. And Guiding Eyes Kenner was also raised by Cheryl A. Richley in the Cleveland West region. Lots of Cleveland. All right. So now, from small beginnings come great things. I would like to introduce 3 of our future guide dog puppies. We have Zula, Zinc, and who's the A? And Ada. And these 3 are going to be available for what we like to say potographs at the end of graduation. They will be down in our grooming room, and you are welcome to come visit them. These guys are all leaving for their puppy raisers today, but if anybody here is interested in knowing more about puppy raising, please feel free to find me after graduation. And in closing, I would like to leave you with one of my favorite quotes. Well, there are many different roads that we take in life. It's those that we walk with that make the journey worthwhile. Thank you and enjoy your day.
Yay, puppy raisers. Before we continue, I don't know if I can compete with the cuteness of puppies, but I'm pretty sure that our musical extravaganza that's about to take place might give it a pretty good run for their money. So give us 1 minute while we set up. We'll be right back. Megan, take a mark. Take a mark. Shuffle your feet. Good. It's gonna be exciting. Chair's right here. Here's the microphone. Here's the microphone. Is it on? Is this on? Okay, ready? So going on tour soon. We train dogs, we're roadies, it's great. We're all back to where we started. Okay. Now, I'd like to take a moment to recognize an incredible group of individuals, people that I've had the privilege to work with for the last few months. Well, every day, but more closely the last few months. The fruits of their hard work, dedication has culminated in these wonderful guide dog teams sitting here before you today. Karen Fellows, Nikki Wentz, Dan Wiesner, my class instructors. They have a passion. You have a passion, a love and devotion. You show it in your training. It shows in your dogs and the commitment to your students during class at a level there's really no words to describe. Long days, even longer nights. They're always ready and willing to help each student with whatever they may need. Included in our awesome August team was this month's action instructor, Miss Miranda Beckman. She, along with her 2 action students, joined us the last 2 weeks of class. They were a welcome addition and just brought more fun to the long days and hard work. Nick Speranza, our running guide program specialist, got up very early in training to run with the dogs who were potentials for our running guides, and also even earlier these hot days in August to run with our students, something that I definitely was not prepared to do, so thank you, Nick. Last but certainly not least is Amy Sander. Amy's very first class as an instructor assistant. You make everything happen. All those great pictures in the slideshow, that was Amy. The things Amy does on a daily basis keep us, and I mean the class and the instructors, a well-oiled machine and running continuously. Just so you know, we would be lost without you, and on your days off, we often sometimes were. So I would like all of my team to stand up and take a bow. So, Amy, you one more time and turn around, because Amy's gonna. Because she's great, but also Amy's been giving the kennel tour. About a half hour after graduation, she'll be making the announcement and she'll be giving you your tour of the kennel. So, now to these amazing individuals that sit before you all. You've been all so great, and I truly feel fortunate to have been part of your journey. You've been kind and supportive to one another. You put forth a tremendous amount of effort and hard work. You've forged new friendships with your fellow classmates and made many new memories. Lots of stories were told in the down times at White Plains. Laughter and supportive words could always be heard. From your first tentative, liberating, and sometimes scary initial walks just a few weeks ago, you now walk confidently, proudly, and independently the last couple of weeks. You all leave here tomorrow with not only 2 new 2-legged friends, but 1 very special 4-legged friend, someone to walk with you as your journey continues. So, now the presentation to graduates. Nate, Kyle, and Edgar. Callie Boone and Fallon. Vicky Prayan and Peace. Barbara Reilly and Janelle. Norma Rios and Bitsy. Michael Moore and Jax. Robert Parsons in Kansas. Megan Hale and Hero. Juliana Lee and Maggie. Sai, Teshawangtam, and Luther. Briley O'Connor and Fuchsia. Lisa Cantwell and Louie. Congratulations to you all. You've worked very hard. And finally, I'd like to introduce Becky Davidson, our Manager of Consumer Outreach and Graduate Support, for some closing remarks. And then you can all say hello to everyone.
Okay, be that way. Good afternoon, everybody. Wow, that song. Not only was it beautifully performed, but it says so much. It's a perfect Guiding Eyes graduation song because it talks about our teammate, our four-legged teammate, and our friends and our Guiding Eyes family, and how we can all count on one another and they can count on us. So thank you for sharing that. That was phenomenal. You know, and I was listening to Robert talking, and something came to mind that I haven't mentioned for a while, but there's a quote from Helen Keller that says, when one can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. I think most guide dog users, and I'm reasonably sure that Michael, Vicky, and Lisa, and Briley, and Barbara could respond to this. There is a point when you feel that impulse. I know when I felt mine, that you can move better, that you really do want to soar. And we figure out what that means. And for me, and probably for most guide dog users, it started the process of us deciding to get a guide dog and then going through the application and everything that came after. And I remember very well my first time that I picked up the harness with my first dog. And I really did feel like I was soaring. And I would bet you that everyone behind me, whether it was your first or your fifth dog, had that feeling a couple weeks ago, the first time you picked up your new dog's harness. It's a phenomenal feeling, and it's one that it's really hard to duplicate. So congratulations, you guys. You have been an amazing class. I wish we didn't have to let you go home, actually. But we do, because you have a life to resume, and you will do it accompanied by a Guiding Eyes dog and a Guiding Eyes family. In some ways, a graduation at Guiding Eyes is kind of like a big family reunion, where we all celebrate together with our retrains, and then we welcome our new family members. So for all of you for whom this is your first Guiding Eyes dog, welcome to the family. And for all of you, give yourselves a big hand. You've worked hard. You've been through a lot, ups and downs emotionally, all of the stuff that happens as we train with and bond with our guide dogs. And you have come to this day of celebration, and you're ready to soar. So give yourselves a big hand and congratulations. Okay, so that was the closing remarks. Here's the announcements. There are refreshments up in the dining room if you go out here and turn left and then turn right and go up the stairs. If you go out of here and turn left and keep walking, you'll listen for the sounds of puppies, and you can go get autographs. Our souvenir shop is open for business. Amy will be calling you for the kennel tour in probably about half an hour. And then the last thing I'd like to ask is, I know everybody's anxious to meet and greet, but I would like to ask you to not rush the stage. Please give our graduates up here an opportunity to get their dogs out of harness so that you can meet and greet properly. So just be patient and hang on for a couple minutes and talk amongst yourselves. And in the meantime, have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for being here and for supporting Guiding Eyes for the Blind.